Hello and welcome to RMU Live. I'm Sonu Babu.
And I'm John Blinn. Happy Monday, everyone. The verdict is in. Former film producer Harvey Weinstein has been found guilty as a criminal of sexual assault and rape. The case also determined that Weinstein was not guilty in 2 counts of predatory sexual assault. Weinstein was also acquitted in court of first-degree rape. He did not testify during his trial, and jury deliberations in the case began last Tuesday morning. A man is dead after his ATV went through thawing ice. Stephen Kazanowski and a female passenger went through the ice at Mill Creek Reservoir in Luzerne County. His passenger, Megan Squires, was able to make it back to shore, but Kazanowski was not. Emergency responders had a different time reaching the male, who was found under the ice and later died in the hospital the next day. We're now going to toss it over to Scott McDaniel with our
21 years old and a student at the University of Slippery Rock. The woman is being treated for head and back injuries, and her condition is currently unknown. Officials say that this is not the first time that she has been called to this area.
Duquesne police have made several arrests for drug and gun charges. 4 men were arrested on Friday after police found cocaine, heroin, 3 guns, and several $1,000s in the men's home. The latest arrest was a 14-year-old from Wilkinsburg who was found with a stolen gun and marijuana. Extra patrols were put after a shooting in the area last week.
And 4 adults and a dog evacuated a house in Duquesne after a fire that took place early this morning. Officials responded to the incident at approximately 5:47 a.m. The fire took place on the 100th block of Peters Street. A pot of food was allegedly left behind on the stove. Fire spread and burnt behind the cabinets in the kitchen, and firefighters had the flames under control within 15 minutes. The incident was ruled as accidental.
Police are looking for a suspect involved in multiple thefts in McKeesport. Anyone with information can call McKeesport at 412-675-5015.
And a fire spread in Butler County Sunday night. The fire spread from the deck to the apartment and the attic. Most of the damage was done to the second-floor apartment, and 2 people who lived there were able to get out of there safely. The Red Cross is currently helping people who live in the duplex.
The U.S. Steel and Clairton residents reached a multi-million-dollar settlement on Monday. Residents have voiced issues about the plant and air quality concerning it. A judge ruled that U.S. Steel must pay a $2 million settlement to residents and complete $6.5 million in upgrades to the Clairton Coke Works. This compromise was the result of a fairness hearing held on Monday.
Sam Kiley reports on U.S. President Donald Trump's first stop in Ahmedabad on his trip to India. Coverage takes place inside of Montreal Stadium, the same venue where President Trump and Prime Minister Modi held their joint event.
It's been the sort of day that Donald Trump frankly relishes, a day of pomp and circumstance in high praise, perhaps culminating when the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi explained the meaning of the term namaste. The Sanskrit greeting, he said, was both a bowing to the individual, but also a bow to the divinity within the individual. What politician could resist such an illusion? But equally, they both campaigned the one for the other, showering one another with praise. Mr. Trump praising the Modi administration's successes, as he put it, in expanding access to electricity, safe transport, water, lifting people out of poverty. For his part, Mr. Modi insisting that the relationship with the United States was much more than a partnership. It was a deepening and abiding effort to meet challenges, both national and international. Perhaps he's hinting there down the line that he'd quite like to see American support, say, for an Indian seat on the Security Council of the United Nations, a permanent seat that would be. But that remains far off as they go on to the Taj Mahal with the First Lady as a tourist stop before heading back to Delhi and beginning talks in earnest that may Donald Trump lead to, in his words, a good or even a great trade deal. Sam Kiley, CNN, in Ahmedabad.
Call him Surging Sanders. Bernie Sanders is projected to win the Nevada caucuses, establishing the Vermont senator as the clear frontrunner for the Democratic nomination for president. Mary Moloney is in Las Vegas, Nevada, with reactions from the caucuses.
Standing in front of a crowd of cheering supporters, a joyous Bernie Sanders declared victory.
And now I'm delighted to bring you some pretty good news.
The Vermont senator conquered the Nevada caucuses, breaking out from the crowded Democratic field.
No campaign has a grassroots movement like we do, which is another reason why we're going to win this election.
The win is part of an early state trifecta for the progressive, who also took home the popular vote in Iowa and won the New Hampshire primary.
In Nevada, we have just put together a multi-generational, multi-racial coalition, which is going to not only win in Nevada, it's going to sweep this country.
Nevada is the first racially diverse primary state. Sanders' strength shows his appeal to a broad range of voters and helps to solidify his status as a frontrunner in the Democratic race for president.
This is our only shot to beat Donald Trump, so I am asking Americans to make sure that we get this choice right.
Rounding out the top four in Nevada, Joe Biden, Pete Buttigieg, and Elizabeth Warren.
I've got a word tonight for Nevada. Thank you for keeping me in the fight.
We're going to win. We're going to win in South Carolina, and then Super Tuesday, and we are on our way.
In Las Vegas, Nevada, I'm Mary Maloney.
Thank you, Mary, and stay tuned to RMU-TV for a host of great programming. Mondays at 1, get your news fix with RMU Live. Wednesdays is a Jimmy Kimmel with an RMU twist with RMU Kidding Me. Keep in touch with the latest in Robert Morris sports with Colonial Sports Center Thursdays at 9:30. And new this year is RMU Focus Fridays at 1, focusing on everything Bobby Moe, streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.
Thank you for spending your Monday afternoon with us. We will see you after the break.
My dear friend Smokey Bear, because for 75 years, he's only said,
only you can prevent wildfires.
But there's a lot more to say. Like, if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So keep the animals safe, especially the cute shirtless one. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90-mile-per-hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
You got a king?
Go fish! In your face, in your face,
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Welcome back to RMU Live. The power went out on campus Sunday night. It lasted 30 minutes and maintenance is still resolving some of the issues due to the power outage.
The new Center for Sales Excellence in the School of Business was approved for associate membership into the University of Sales Alliance. The alliance is of the University Sales Center nationwide. RMU has been given a bronze rating as one of the most military-friendly universities in the country. RMU has won the award in the past and maintained the title for the 2020-2021 year.
And additionally, in the NHL on Saturday, an unlikely event happened in which an emergency goalie, David Ayers, had to replace Peter Mazurek after getting run over for the Carolina Hurricanes. The 42-year-old Zamboni driver stepped in and made 8 saves en route to a 6-3 win over the Toronto Maple Leafs. And Heather Pinson will be hosting the second RMU Roundtable of the spring semester. Her roundtable will focus on jazz photography. The event will take place in 203 on February 27th at 11 to 12:15 p.m. in Hale 203.
We're now going to toss it over to Nathan Brysinger to give us the latest on Pittsburgh. Oh, never mind. We're going to toss it to break. We will see you in just a few minutes.
Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear. Because for 75 years, he's only said,
Only you can prevent wildfires.
But there's a lot more to say. Like if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So keep the animals safe, especially the cute shirtless one. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish. In your face, in your face, in
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Welcome back to RMU Live. Now we're going to toss it over to Nathan Brysinger to give us the latest on sports. Nate, what do you got for us?
Thanks, John. First off, the Pittsburgh Penguins have hit one of their midseason losing skids as they have lost the past three and have been outscored 14-5. In those games, to start on Saturday, the Pens were dominated by the visiting Buffalo Sabres on home ice as they lost 5-2. And then on Sunday, the Caps were able to edge out the Penguins 5-3 in a Metropolitan Division matchup. The Pens returned to the ice Wednesday when they traveled to Los Angeles to take on the Kings. As the Pens continue their stretch, the NHL is wrapping up its trade deadline period. Several teams have bolstered their rosters with different moves. Many defenders have been dealt, including Mike Green, Brendan Dillon, and Alec Martinez. Also, the powerful offense of the Washington Capitals, have added veteran scoring threat Ilya Kovalchuk. And so far, the biggest and most shocking trade that happened just a few hours ago was Vincent Trocheck of the Florida Panthers getting dealt to the Carolina Hurricanes. And with just a few hours remaining in this trade deadline period, we'll see who else will get dealt. Additionally, in the NHL, on Saturday, as Sonu previously mentioned, David Ayers had to step in for the Carolina Hurricanes as Peter Mrazek and James Reimer both went down with an injury against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Ayers made 8 saves coming in. He is actually a Zamboni driver for the Toronto Maple Leafs minor league team in the AHL, the Toronto Marlies. So it was very interesting to see that as he stepped in against one of his favorite teams and as part of the organization. Also, in other Pittsburgh sporting news, a video surfaced from the Pittsburgh Steelers on Instagram showing Ben Roethlisberger throwing for the first time since his injury this past season. He suffered an elbow injury early in the 2019 campaign, so it's nice to see Ben throwing once again for the Steelers. Also, the Pittsburgh Pirates have kicked off their 2020 spring training campaign. The team has dropped their first 3 matchups as they are 0-3 to start. In a split squad afternoon yesterday, the teams fell 4-3 and 8-4 to the Philadelphia Phillies and Detroit Tigers, respectively. And the Pirates will continue spring training action later this evening versus the New York Yankees. Finally, a memorial service for NBA great Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna is scheduled for today. It will be at the Staples Center, where Bryant played with the Lakers. The 2 Bryants and 7 others died in a helicopter crash last month. Now, thousands are expected to honor them in person, with more watching on NBA TV and live stream. CNN's Omar Jimenez previews this event.
It's been almost a month to the day since the helicopter crash that killed everyone on board, including Kobe Bryant and his 13-year-old daughter, Gigi. Now comes the celebration of life ceremony, plans for which have stayed pretty tightly under wraps at this point, but we do know there won't be a procession, there won't be a burial either, as that happened in a private ceremony earlier this month. Thousands are expected to attend, not just from here in the LA area, but from well beyond as well. Now, I was here in the immediate aftermath of this crash, and you almost couldn't walk anywhere in the Staples Center area without potentially stepping on some form of memorabilia, flowers, pictures, things of that nature. That's all gone, but partly because the family is now asking to show support through charitable donations through their Mamba and Mamacita Sports Foundation, which of course comes from the family as well. Now, another point of emphasis that officials have been looking for simply comes down to logistics. Obviously, there are so many people that are trying to show their support, but there were a limited number of tickets that went out, proceeds of which have gone to their foundations, and they are asking anyone who doesn't have tickets to not only not show up, but to stay out of the area altogether, partly because they just want to keep these areas around it clear. They also have a basketball game later in the evening that they're going to have to prepare for, and they want everything to run smoothly on that front. But at the end of the day, this event, the celebration of life, 10 a.m. local time Pacific here in Los Angeles, is meant to be a focal point and in some ways a sense of closure for what has been such a painful time for so many. All in all, it's probably just going to run a few hours, but the significance is unmistakable all the way down to the date, February 24th, 2020 to 24/20, to Gigi Bryant's basketball number, 24, Kobe's 20, the amount of time Vanessa Bryant had been with Kobe. Omar Jimenez, CNN, Los Angeles.
Thank you, Omar. And it will be nice for the NBA family and the LA Lakers and Los Angeles in general to get to some final closure after such an unfathomable event with Kobe Bryant and his daughter. So that will be nice to see that tonight. And that's all the sports for now. Let's send it back over.
Thank you, Nathan. U.S. stocks continue to suffer as a result of the coronavirus. All three indices plunged Monday morning on mounting worries about the coronavirus spreading to economies outside of China. The Dow dropped as much as 997 points, wiping out its gains for the year. The S&P 500 declined just over 3%. The Nasdaq was down nearly 4%.
And Sugarland is announcing their new tour coming to Pittsburgh. The There Goes the Neighborhood tour is coming to Pittsburgh on July 23rd at S&T Bank Music Park. Tickets go on sale February 28th at 10 a.m.
To get even more RMU-related content, be sure to tune in to RMU Radio. You can listen live with the Radio FX app, or you can listen to Podbean for the latest podcast talking sports, music, movies, and news.
And coming up, Nate Breisinger will be in the studio for the latest on sports. Stay tuned for more.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again. But an awkward silence can be a great thing, like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate, and it's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
I got it!
Hi.
Can you help me?
I got it.
Thank you.
No problem.
Just like the rules to surviving Zombieland, there are steps you can take to be prepared for an emergency.
It's the right thing to do.
Talk with your family to make a plan. Look for safe areas to meet up if separated. And stock up on supplies. It's never too early to get prepared, so start now.
Right now?
Right now. You can't predict emergencies, but you can be ready.
You're welcome, America.
Visit ready.gov today to learn more.
What are you
you doing in there? What's that?
I wouldn't do that. What are you doing? What are you looking for?
Welcome back to RMU Live. Nate Brysinger is back for Pittsburgh Sports. Nate, what do you have for us?
Thank you, Sonu. Robert Morris had a very busy weekend here on campus with several different teams playing. Let's start at the People's Court on Friday as the Robert Morris women's basketball team looked to extend their unbeaten streak in the NEC. However, Mount St. Mary's had other plans as they would not let the Colonials' dominance continue as the Mountaineers shocked the Colonials on their home court by a final 62-59. The Colonials suffered their first loss since December 29th, so it's been almost 2 months of winning for the Colonials. On Sunday, the team looked to have better fate, this time against Fairleigh Dickinson. The Colonials will get back into the win column with a low-scoring victory as they defeated the Knights 48-35. Every member of the Colonials was held to just single digits in this matchup. As for the men's team, in their game against Mount St. Mary's on Friday, they had a different result than the women's as they pulled away late, winning 68-60. Josh Williams scored 22 points and 5 3-pointers. On Sunday, Josh was just held to 10 points as they lost once again to Fairleigh Dickinson, 75-70 in this one. The team will finish its regular season in a very important conference matchup when they host the Red Flash of St. Francis this coming Saturday. Also over the weekend, both men's and women's hockey took to the ice. The women's hockey team walked away with 2 dominating victories over RIT, 5-1 on Friday and 5-2 on Saturday. J.C. Gebhard once again led the way for the Colonials with 2 goals and 3 assists on the weekend. RMU still remains 1 point behind Mercyhurst for the lead of the CHA. As for the men's hockey team took on Canisius College in a 2-game home-and-home series this weekend. In Buffalo, New York on Friday, the Colonials captured 2 points as Aiden Beck finished off the Golden Griffins in the shootout. Darcy Walsh had that lone goal in regulation for the Colonials on Friday. As for Saturday, the team returned home for senior night. The Colonials scored a late goal thanks to Daniel Mantenuto on a 5-on-3 man advantage, lifting them to a 4-3 victory. RMU finishes their regular season next weekend when they take on Niagara as they try to clinch some more points and move up in the standings. Next, the women's lacrosse team took on the Akron Zips on Friday and collected their second win of the season with an 18-4 dominating victory. Cleo Kerr paced the Colonials on the afternoon with 3 goals and 4 points. RMU hosts Bucknell next Saturday here at Robert Morris. And finally, the men's lacrosse team, they traveled to the U.S. lacrosse headquarters in Maryland, and they took on Jacksonville University over the weekend, but the result was not favorable as they fell 15-8. Ryan Smith took charge for the Colonials in this one. He registered 3 points as Austin Popovich added 2 goals for the team. And as for now, that's all the Robert Morris sports I have to report. Let's send it back over to the desk for more news.
Thank you, Nathan. When we come back from the break, Scott McDaniel will be in our weather studio to give us a full look at what's going on outside. We will see you after the break.
Hey, Dad. I need your help asking Jessica to prom.
Of course. Love is like the ocean. You have to tread the
Oh,
waters.
Dad. That's not the kind of help I needed. Hey, Jessica. Will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. This guy, no, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie. Nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on, man. Let's split a ride home.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Welcome back. Scott is in our studio to tell us more about how it is looking outside. Scott, what do you have for us?
All right, Wyatt, thank you, Sonu, for that riveting intro. As you can see, today's weather is looking absolutely not winter. As I said earlier, we are looking at a high of 52 degrees, a low of 39 degrees. Humidity is looking at 45%, and we have a chance of precipitation of 20%. Now, if we go on to the hourly forecast, yeah, there you go. As you can see, 3 p.m. we are looking at cloudy conditions with a high of 52. That'll be dropping down at 6 p.m. At 47. We're keeping those cloudy conditions. And then at 9 p.m. we are looking at still more cloudy conditions with 42, dropping a whole 5 degrees. Now, if we go back to tomorrow's forecast, as you can see here, we're going to get in some rainy conditions with a high of 47 and a low of 41, about a 6-degree difference there. Humidity, we'll be looking at an 88% chance, of humidity with a 70% chance of precipitation, Definitely gonna want to take your umbrella out tomorrow. Now, going on to the 5-day forecast, which is different from tomorrow's forecast. 5-day forecast, we are looking at Wednesday, we are looking at rainy conditions with a high of 49 degrees and a low of 24. Thursday, we're gonna be going back to those cloudy conditions with a high of 28 and a low of 19. Friday, a whole 1 degree higher with 29 and a low of 17, keeping those cloudy conditions. Saturday will also be cloudy with a high of 28 and a low of 17 once again. Sunday, we are going back to partly cloudy conditions with a high of 34 and a low of 22. Thank you for joining me for this RMU Live weather forecast, but for now, we're going to toss it back to John and Sonu at the desk.
Thank you, Scott. And for all updates on RMU sports, news, and arts and entertainment, head over to rmucenturymedia.com for the latest student-run RMU news. Thank you for spending your Monday afternoon with us. We will see you next week.
Have a good week.